I am starting a batch of homemade bone broth. I just pulled out of the freezer the carcass from last month's turkey. Added some celery and carrots that I had left over. Also put some salt, pepper, poultry seasoning, a couple of radishes in there. I'm going to go cook this on high until the turkey thaws out enough to settle into the pot. And then I'll turn it on low and cook it for at least another 24 hours. We'll check back with it. Okay, this has been cooking for about 4 hours now on high. And the turkey, the carcass, all the bones has settled down into the broth, into the water to make broth. So what I'm going to do is turn the temperature to low and set it for 10 hours overnight. I'll be going to bed within an hour or so. And I have it sitting on my stove across 2 burners because I have such a tiny little kitchen that if I put it on the counter here, it will send that heat and humidity into my spice cabinet, which I don't want. Or if I set it on this side, it'll send it into a cabinet that I have other seeds and stuff like that, or other grocery items. So I don't want them going, that humidity going there. So the only place to really put it is on the stove. And that way I don't have to worry about the countertops getting overheated or anything like that. So let's let it go overnight. My homemade turkey broth is coming along. It's been cooked overnight, and I'm going to cook it probably another 8 to 10 more hours on low. By the time I get off of work today, it'll be done. And then I can pull all the meat out and use that for sandwiches and stuff, or salads, whatever. And then I can ladle up all the broth and freeze most of it for use later, but enjoy a cup of it later today too. So I'll check back when it's done. Okay, this broth has been cooking for over 24 hours now, so let's process it. First I go through the pot and take as many of the non-liquid items out as I can find with my spoon. And I put them here in a container right now just to cool off. And when they cool off, I will pick off any of the meat that's left and discard the bones that they're used up. Then I will be ladling this broth out and putting in these containers. And this is an ice cube like tray, but it's like, is it half a cup or a cup size serving? But I'll fill up this whole tray and then freeze it. And then when it comes out of the freezer, in solid rocks, they'll come right out, and I can take them out and put them in Ziploc bags to use later. Okay, that was a lot messier project than I thought it was going to be with the ladle, because it was just like going all over the place. So I had to resort to my little handy stainless steel baster to fill up all the things and not get broth all over the place. So now I just snap the lids on. I don't know if you can see the brand. It's called Super Cubes. It's the name of the cubey trays. So put those lids on. Okay, and then you can put them in your freezer. And they would stack on top of each other because the lids themselves are very firm, but my ice cubes are in the way. I don't want to have to put them someplace else. So put them in the freezer, and by tomorrow morning they will be. Then the next day, just take the lid off. This is like greens that I did. And you see, these will pop right out. If I flipped it over, they would pop out. Let me try it. Yeah. Now these are greens that I did earlier in the week, but you see they come right out. And then you can put them in once they're frozen and come out of the tray. Put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'll suck out the air with a straw in a second. And then throw them in the freezer and use them as you want to. Perfect thing for vegetables, greens, soups, chili, anything like that that you can make single serving size cubes. Very practical.